And this is our list.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Through the Chiefs, you don't like the Chiefs. I think we really agree on. For what our other differences, there's one thing that we kind of scooch.
The AM Sideline Report, where you go to crew. Touchdowns and tackles, we give you the view. Huddle up, football fans, this show's for you. From the pregame hype to the final whistle, true.
Meow.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the AM Sideline Report. I'm your co-host, Marcus, and with me as always. But guys, welcome to the season finale.
Yeah, season 1 done and wraps after this episode.
Yeah. So this episode we will be chatting about the Super Bowl. Just a quick one, but the main reason for this episode is the AM Sideline Awards.
Yeah, effectively Super Bowl's done. It's all wrapped up.
Yeah.
And NFL is done for the 2025 season at least anyway. So yeah, it's a couple months until the NFL kicks off anyway.
Yeah.
But we will be back for SAPL, softball, flag, whatever, and EFL and all that type of thing. But in the meanwhile, let's like you said, wrap up the season.
Off season 1, because we will be back maybe like mid-March. Because UFL starts 27th of March, and SAPL starts beginning mid-March. So
we're on the coverage of that. But until then, we still got the final of the NFL to
talk about. Yeah, unfortunately, a little bit late with that.
Yes,
because personal things happening between us and that. We've been fighting, so we decided to stop it for. I'm joking.
I say, what are we fighting about?
Our studio was taken. Let's just say that. Yeah. So unfortunately, we couldn't film. Plus, it landed on Valentine's Day when we were supposed to film. So obviously, we had to spend time with the loved ones.
Yeah. So we hope you guys some love, and yeah.
Did you get some?
Let's not discuss that on camera.
But cool. Let's kick off then with the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Very disappointing Super Bowl, spoiler alert. It was, if you don't know, New England Patriots versus Seattle Seahawks. And the Seattle Seahawks beat the New England Patriots 29-13.
Yeah. I mean, look, Seahawks dominated that game.
They were a much better team.
Yeah. Patriots didn't really seem to show up much.
Bishop O-line.
Yeah. Okay.
Paul Regnay got eaten.
Yeah. I think the Patriots set some new records, and I say records as in plural records, and for postseason performance. On the negative side of things, not necessarily positive records. I think he was sacked like something like 7 or 8 times. I think in that bad thing, which set a new high postseason sack record for the in the NFL overall. There was also other negative record set. But yeah, it was the Patriots were dominated through and through.
Yeah.
And I also think, look, I don't think they were fully prepared for what came out of that, and maybe a bit of experience, could have helped. A lot of young players. You mentioned the O-line. I mean, you had. I think even one of the commentators during the game actually mentioned that. I mean, you have I think it was your left guard and left tackle.
Yeah.
Both left sides. Yeah, the entire left side of your O-line were rookies.
Yeah.
And they even said, "Who does that in a Super Bowl?"
Kind of it showed, man.
Yeah,
it showed.
Yeah. So I mean, the Seahawks knew that.
Yeah.
Obviously, they
hard work that side.
And they put the pressure on that side, and that's the thing. I mean, you've got pro teams, there's a ton of pressure to perform, and it's the ones that's it's looking for those little gaps. The 1% here, the extra little bit there. Where's the -1% on the other team kind of thing?
Yeah,
and tightening the screws on those particular places. That's essentially what set the teams apart. Look, I'd say the first scores only came in the third quarter.
I think wasn't it first?
Okay, I mean apart from field goals, the odd field goal. So I think Seahawks
were 9-0 ahead. It
was just field goals kind of
I
thing.
think the first score only came in the fourth quarter.
First touchdown only came, it was late in the third quarter, early first quarter. And so it was a fairly close game in a sense. There was a lot of back and forth, and but yeah, I mean, if we're talking about touchdowns and such, the fourth quarter Seahawks basically just drove the nail into the coffin. I think
that's true. What I want to say is, like we were talking about the O-line and that the Seahawks defense just cut through that the entire time. Our defense wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
Like we got through their O-line, but they got to hold us off just enough for Sam Darnold to get that ball out.
Yeah.
Right. And there was like Moulton Williams, just missing. It's about to get him and the ball gets out.
Yeah.
We couldn't do anything in that game.
Yeah, but I think that also comes down to, I mean, Donald was releasing the ball a lot quicker than, and I think they knew that was coming. So, there's a ton of pressure. Look, I mean, Donald performed really well. I mean, I think a lot of people expect him to choke.
Yeah, for some of the chokes in the playoffs, he played very well. This entire playoff season.
Yeah. So there's saving grace for Donald. And I think the entire Seahawks offense came out and had a ton of practice on what to do, what not to do.
Yeah.
Which was great. I mean, both defenses. I think that it was largely a defensive game. It was defense through and through. You're watching the defense do their thing in the Super Bowl this time around. A lot of people tend to focus on the offense, but in this case, the defense, both defenses were effectively the star of the show. Obviously,
the Seahawks defense.
Yeah. So, but at the same time, I mean, the Patriots didn't do badly either. It was a good outing, good performance from them. It just in the fourth quarter, things just stepping out. But we only play 2 quarters a game. It wasn't first quarter, it wasn't second quarter. Yeah, I think maybe the third and fourth, but it just wasn't enough. No, look, I think they did really well. So in my opinion, the Patriots offensive side was obviously the underperforming side of the entire team. The defense held out, right? Okay, they kept the Seahawks to field goals until the fourth. So if you minus the first couple of field goals, so that's 9-12 points odd that you take off the board.
Yeah.
How do you?
That makes it what, 17-13. So
yeah, but it's close,
much closer.
Yeah, and possibly the other side of it, like if you're looking from the other side of the coin, the Patriots offense didn't do enough to get to make the counter field goals, if I can put it that way. They'll stop really early on, and or there was a lack of movement and exactly, yeah. So I think that's kind of where, I think the offense dropped the ball largely, and defense showed up, did what they needed to do,
and they were shutting down the run game.
Yeah,
like hectically.
Yeah,
so, but there was one person on the Patriots field that played their heart out.
Oh yeah,
Christian Gonzalez, man.
Yeah.
Oh, he had what a game. Unfortunately, still lost, but
yeah. But again,
the amounts of times he's stopped Jackson Smith, man.
Yeah.
Ew. Yeah, no, it was a Superman dab to bang a ball away. It was just Christian Gonzalez played a brilliant game,
and I think that's largely from the Patriots defense, right? Then Jackson Smith, Jimba was he was going to be key to the Seahawks offense, and so what do? You learn his movements, yes, his routes, his what his motions look like.
Yeah,
and I think to a large degree that's basically essentially what's Gonzalez was focusing on, and was able to shut him down. And that's also largely why the Seahawks were kind of stumped in their progress. And were kept to effectively field goals and that type of thing. So they were looking for the open move or the open space, and they were looking for the deep passes. He was targeted multiple cover attack, but there was always somebody there, and largely it was Gonzalez. And he was able to shut him down and take that option away. And I think that was just excellent defense work from him. It was Patriots side, and particularly Gonzalez.
Yeah, that was brilliant. But congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks for winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
We'll see you next season when it happens. And we'll, pull the Eagles next season. Please, pull the Eagles next season.
But I will say, I mean, so the Seahawks are from the NFC.
Yeah.
So it comes back to the NFC this year. Those Eagles, and then so
I actually looked it up. Yeah. Looked it up the one day. I was curious because obviously Eagles last season. The season was the Seahawks. So I'm like, who's actually won most Super Bowls? AFC or NFC? And NFC has actually won most.
Yeah.
I think it was obviously must do the calculations, but I think I might be wrong. I think it was like 33-31, just because two Super Bowl difference, but NFC's won the most Super Bowls.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we won the first one.
Actually, it couldn't be that because there was Super Bowl 60.
Yeah. So but it would have been close. In the ballpark. For about
32-28.
Okay, yeah.
If I remember, is it?
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah. So that was the Super Bowl. That was the NFL.
Yes.
For the season. They will be back September.
Yeah.
But we'll be
I'd say August preseason. Yeah. Preseason kicks off sometime in August. I don't think we have dates yet officially for the NFL season yet.
No.
That'll be announced, I think, in the next 2 months or so.
Yeah. But we will be back with some NFL news starting end of April? That's when the draft is?
Yeah, so end of April. Effectively there's trades happening now. There's free agency.
Tyreek Hill just got released from the Dolphins.
But I think that was expected.
Yeah. I saw, I think it was yesterday or the day before he was just released from the Dolphins.
He wanted out. They didn't want him. It was kind of I think a mutual parting.
Yeah.
I think under difficult circumstances. I don't think they liked each other.
And with his knee going that way.
Yeah. But also, I mean, there's been a ton of. We'll have a ton to cover. There's a lot of staff changes as well. Coaches have been moving around.
There was one chain head coaches that was released.
Yeah,
which has moved over to different.
Yeah, I mean, we've lost our
DC.
Yeah, who's now a head coach at one of the other teams, Continental Woodland. And then. Yeah, I think Mike LeFleur, which is Matt's brother or cousin or something, I can't remember. But he's now head coach somewhere, or he's on some other team, and now I don't know. There's a lot of movements. There's been a ton of movements. Can't remember them all right now, but some notable ones. Obviously, if you're following the news, you would have been up to speed. I think there's also still a big question coming up on which veterans are going to be released, and whether they're going to be released before or after June 1st.
Yeah.
It had an impact. June 1st is a big date for releasing veterans.
Yeah, I remember one of the episodes we discussed. Yeah, in person.
Yeah, so there's big dates around that. There's obviously the draft coming up, as you mentioned. There's free agency signings. There's trades that'll happen or start happening at some point soon. So a lot of off-season movement.
Yeah,
which we'll end up covering along the way.
Yeah, when we're back in March.
Well, let's say from March, because
we'll be discussing all the movements and things like that going forward. But for the main event of this episode, the AM Sideline Awards. So this is kind of our version of NFL honors.
Yes.
So it's the first annual AM Sideline Awards.
So we've kind of put together a couple of awards that we want to give.
This is our categories.
Yeah.
Not the NFL honor categories. This is our ones.
Do you want to run through the categories quickly?
Oh, we will go through the categories once we start. We'll get through the categories if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yes.
So let's do it like that.
So then, kicking off one of the categories is best team of the year. So we're doing AFC and NFC.
Yeah, it kind of doesn't help to select a overall team. Let's keep it into the various conferences.
Yeah.
And so we've got AFC and we've got NFC.
Yeah.
So, AFC.
So best team of the year for AFC, honorable mention to the Denver Broncos for 14 wins and 3 losses. But we have decided on the New England Patriots, 14 wins, 3 losses, and made it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So they are our AFC best team of the year.
Yeah, I like the Broncos. I think they did particularly well. Got to the Super Bowl after what's it now, 10 years or so.
AFC Championship.
That's an AFC Championship. Yeah, not Super Bowl. My bad. Yeah, I've got Super Bowl in my mind. I think I make it to the Super Bowl, and I think that's just the reason that they. I think So they came pretty close, and I think they did really well. But yeah. Unfortunately, the distinguishing factors, Patriots beat them,
and also, weaker schedule. Blah blah blah. The Bears had a weaker schedule as well, but no one complains about that. But we did go from 4 wins to 14 wins. So, yes, New England Patriots, AFC Team of the Week. But go for the NFC, my friend.
All right, so NFC, we had as an honorable mention the LA Rams. Again, also 12 wins, 5 losses. But obviously, Super Bowl champions made it to the top honor here. Seattle Seahawks, 14 wins, 3 losses. And obviously clearly winning the Super Bowl. So, it kind of...
You have to give that to them, yeah. You're going to have to. That's a crazy thing, okay, that off topic, but same discussion kind of thing. AFC are 2 top selections, both 14 wins, 3 losses. NFC, one is 14 wins. The next top team only had 12 wins, 5 losses.
Yeah, we had
we had a lot closer battle on the AFC side.
Yeah.
But moving on to the next one. So this is one of the categories as well. Suckiest team of the year.
Yeah.
And for the AFC side, honorable mentions to the New York Jets with only 3 wins, 14 losses. And just because, you know what, screw them, we don't like them, Kansas City Chiefs. 6 wins, 11 losses.
I mean, they went from Super Bowl contender in 1 year to
back-to-back Super Bowl champions, Super Bowl contender the year after,
and then all of a sudden 6 wins, only 6 wins, 11 losses. You know what? Something didn't quite work there so well, did it?
And this is our list.
Yeah, exactly.
Through the Chiefs,
you don't like the Chiefs. I think we really agree on. For all our other differences, there's one thing that we kind of have a thing on is screw the Chiefs. Like none of us like it. Well, sorry for you.
But for the suckiest team on the AFC side, we went with the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah.
We had a little back and forth discussion on who should actually be, Jets or Raiders, but we settled on Raiders.
Yeah.
I say Jets, obviously, because like I said to you, it took them so long. It took them a good, 7, 8, 9 weeks or something to win their first game. And you made a very good point with the Raiders. Won their first game, massive hype, but then from there, they just...
Yeah, they're trudged through. I think after the first game, people, there was a general sentiment that the Raiders are going to improve. This is a season that they're going to bounce back.
Yeah.
And it was more a fluke win. And I think a lot of people
Patriots are still trying to find their feet.
Yeah, I mean, it's week 1. Like, I don't think anybody can really count much out of the first 3-4 weeks anyway, right? But I want to say the Raiders went from bad to worse.
Yeah.
And actually, I'd say even largely, a lot of the games that they did win, or the only other 2 games that they did win in the entire season, were effectively flukes.
Yeah.
It wasn't a convincing win. It was close. Maybe they put up, points and that type of thing. But yeah, it was. Look, I'm not saying the Jets did any better, right? There was quite a bit of hype around the Jets, but there was a lot of focus on the Jets. Oh, the Jets have this and this problem, kind of whatever. The Raiders were okay. No, the second week loss, third week loss, fourth week loss. Oh, it's initial weeks kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it will get better. Don't worry.
Nope.
Week 5, week 6.
Yeah.
And it just I'm sorry, but for me, Gino just did absolutely nothing on that team, kind of thing. And but then it's not just Gino. Look, I'm peeing on Gino now, but there's
You pick on Gino later as well.
yeah, there were so many problems with the Raiders, and just everybody seemed to shrug their shoulders and go, "Oh well, it's the Raiders. Let's it's fine. They're getting better. They'll get better." The Raiders have gone progressively, like season to season. They just seem to drop off a cliff, and that's it. Yeah. Sorry, but Raiders are my absolute worst possible. Like, also, what talent comes out of the Raiders?
Yeah. The only talented part of the Raiders is Tom Brady owning shares in it.
That's probably the hype cycle there, right? Right there is, Brady's a minority owner in the Raiders. Yeah. Okay, good whoopie-doo, but like, well, what else is happening?
Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah.
Shit, that's funny. We're moving on to the NFC side. Suckiest teams.
All right, Suckiest teams. 2 contenders. The one that didn't take the honors, the runner-up, honorable mention, just narrowly missing, was the New York Jets. Giants. Sorry, wrong side. New York Giants, 4 wins, 13 losses.
Yeah.
Also, not much happening at the Giants. I think a lot of potential promise as well, but not nothing much going on there. But and I think this is an easy one. The winner of this is the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, geez, 13 wins, 14 losses, same as the Giants, right? But the Giants at least tried. They tried, right? They tried to do something. Okay, it didn't work. Fine, fair enough. Maybe it hasn't worked for a while, but they tried. At least put some effort in.
Yeah.
Cardinals, who knows what happened there? I mean,
against the Titans. Oh Lord.
Yeah, I mean, highlight reel of the Cardinals probably comes down to the 72-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
Wiped off the board. I think it was 72 yards. Wiped off the board because their running back drops the ball and starts celebrating early before he's even crossed the finish line. Oh, guess what? He didn't retain control as he passed the plane. So they lost that game.
Yeah.
And because of that performance. Oh well, who cares? Next game, they but then there was that defensive play where it was, you said, I think, the Titans.
Yeah.
Review was Titans.
Yeah. It was Titans first win.
Yeah. So, gain on, like, close to the Titans are on the ball, close to the end zone. They've got, I think, what was it, like 10, 15 yards or something to go. And I think it was possible interception. He blocked it, fumbled the ball, kicked it. Another player kicks it out the other way. There was some soccer going on in the mix.
Different kind of football.
Exactly. And then, because football, what's football, kind of thing. And a opposing player, Titans player, whatever, drops on the ball in the end zone and scores a touchdown. Well done. Here you go.
It was hilarious, man.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And those aren't the only 2 incidents, unfortunately. There was a lot, a ton more. I don't know. Cardinals, yeah, whatever. Cardinals deserve that. They just exactly. Yeah, Suckiest team of the year. For free NBC.
Moving on to player of the year. So what we have is player of the year. We have QB, offense player of the year, defense player of the year, and then MVP.
Yeah.
So QB of the year, we went with Matthew Stafford, QB from Los Angeles Rams. 388 completions from 597 attempts, which is a 65%. Through 474 yards, 46 touchdowns, only 8 interceptions, and with a rating of 109.2.
Yeah.
We don't have any honorable mentions. We just went straight for young Matthew Stafford.
Yeah. And then on the offensive side, so we haven't, not unlike the NFL where we're doing, like we're breaking it down into different categories. We just try to select an overall offensive player of the year.
Yeah.
This went directly to James Cook, running back for the Buffalo Bills. 309 carries, 1,621 rushing yards, 12 touchdowns. Pretty much, I think he took the top honor for running back.
Yeah.
Not running back, but rushing yards.
Yeah, there's some Deacon won, and there's something. He won the other.
Yeah, but it was well deserved, and I think we same some of the kind of feeling sentiments.
Yeah. But you missed the.
Oh yeah. So that was yeah, fair enough. Okay, on to offensive player. So he was the honorable mention.
Yeah.
The actual award goes to Puka Nacua, wide receiver for the Los Angeles Rams. 129 receptions for the season, 1,715 yards, and 10 touchdowns. Generally decent, but maybe not the. I don't think that was the best stats in terms of receiver yards and such. But it's not about stats. It's also how you played, and I think he was the kind of breakout. He was the,
there's the why the Rams were where they were.
Exactly.
Not just Matthew Stafford, it was Puka. Yeah, Matthew Stafford had to throw some.
Yeah,
and Puka Nacua was like
and you can have a quarterback throwing balls all over the field. JJ McCarthy as an example, but unless you've got somebody to actually catch the ball and carry it up, So team's forward overall, and Puka, I kind of think exemplified the idea of teamwork and being it, but also just being able to be there, and not only receives the ball, safe hands, etc. So skills, skills were exceptional, but also was able to find space, was able to create the yards and create the space and that type of thing around where which allowed the Rams to advance the chain, etc., move down the field and that kind of thing. So
there was because while we're making this list, one of the categories we'll get to later is like moment of the year. Now I was busy watching different like a top 100 moments or plays of the year kind of thing, and there was a play. It was top 10. Can't remember the exact number now, but it was in the top 10. With Puka Nacua, it was just incredible. Running his route, defenders in front of him, cuts in, or cuts out, and then cuts back in, one-handed catch.
Yeah, actually remember that game.
It's insane.
Yeah, no, he had some stunning moments. Open space, like got behind everybody. They support runs kind of thing, and it has to be chased down kind of thing. It's he made the. When I say the scoring or the ability to score was basically created to be able.
Yeah. I think it was one of the last games as well. Puka Nacua scored, I think it was like 2 touchdowns in the first quarter or in the first half as well. But Puka was just a beast, man.
Yeah.
He was just a beast. But moving on to the defensive player of the year, we only have one person, and that is Myles Garrett.
Has to take
it to Myles Garrett. Defensive end from the Cleveland Browns, 43 tackles, 17 assisted tackles, and 23 sacks, breaking the NFL record.
Yeah, for the most sacks in a single season.
Yeah. So they had to go to Myles Garrett, man.
Yeah. Took the NFL top honors as well. Yeah, in their awards for that.
Yeah, you got Deacon Jones Award and also Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, but well deserved.
Yeah.
And there's just no question.
Yeah, no one else can put.
Yeah. If you talk defense, for 2025, the 2025 season, the name that is now mentioned everywhere is Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
And it's just, you hear Myles, like if you're talking NFL and talking defense, Myles Garrett, the name Myles Garrett is going to come up.
Yeah, 100%. But moving on to MVP of the year.
Yeah, so MVP is our overall selection.
Yeah.
We had, just want to clearly point out, we did have a honorable mention for Sam Darnold, quarterback of the Seahawks, current Super Bowl champions.
Yeah.
So Darnold did, I think, was expected to choke.
We all agree.
Yeah. I think there was an expectation. I think even among coaching staff and or say organizational levels, they didn't take any players. Exactly. I don't think in the league he was considered to be a top performer, and maybe to some degree he still isn't. But I think to a large degree he proved the expectation wrong, and his it's kind of like a comeback story in it.
Yeah.
You know, there's choked,
Yeah.
you know, kind of not performing. Yeah, he's been through a couple of teams, and
It was literally it was Jets, someone else I can't remember. Then it was Vikings.
Yeah,
and then
yeah, I mean, and even with the Vikings, I mean, everyone remember the 2024 season with the Vikings,
choked in the playoffs.
Yeah, ended up choking in the playoffs, and there was the expectation that he was going to choke, and while he kind of proved it, it was a surprise that he actually made it as far as the playoffs with the Vikings. And maybe that's also what led to his release from the Vikings. But going to the Seahawks now, there's a bit of a chance to redeem himself, and I think he sees that opportunity, and he showed that he actually can be in the right situation. That's, he's kind of watched that earlier career kind of stigma of a choking player kind of thing off of him. I will say during the season he did have one or two there were one or two moments where everybody sat back and like, okay, yeah, that's the Donald that we know and see. But I think every player has that. Every QB has that. And yeah, I mean, he just showed that he can bounce back from that and redeem himself.
Yeah. Definitely.
But Donald is the honorable mention and the winner of the MVP award for overall for best player of the year is Drake May. Drake May.
Yeah.
Whatever. Drake May, quarterback for the New England Patriots. 354 completions from 492 attempts. That's a 72% completion rating. 4,392 yards thrown, 31 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 113.5 QB rating. And kind of basically, I guess, overall, just a it's called it like, he's not a rookie, but
comeback second year.
Yeah, comeback moments. His rookie year was under
Jared Mayo,
and wasn't exactly the best season of his at all. And I think bounce back second year, showing a ton of promise and potential, and he does have a lot of potential.
Yeah.
Again, I'm holding off my reservation of the Patriots as a whole. We'll see how he does. After season 2. But yeah, it's definitely worth making, coming back from what was it, a bottom 5 team kind of thing to bottom 4 team. Yeah, okay, well, bottom 5 still. Bottom 5 team to basically second overall.
Yeah.
So
Drake May just freaking it. Like I said earlier, in playoffs, he didn't show that he was an MVP candidate during the playoffs, but regular season, oh man, that man just destroyed.
It crossed
been
down.
decreased, man.
Yeah, Kroos has just been inexperienced, right? Yeah, he's never been right in that situation before. And playoffs do invoke a lot of additional pressure, and it's a concern. I think he handled it fairly well.
Still winning wild cards, still winning divisionals, still winning AFC Championship. All great.
Yeah, they were very close games, and I do think, like, for example, against the Broncos, it was a very lucky event with the weather and such.
The win.
But yeah, at the end of the day, a win is a win, and it builds up experience. It's at least he was able to get through those through those games, and it's more like than what can be said for other quarterbacks from other teams that haven't actually been there yet.
Yeah.
So at least he understands that now, and maybe he can incorporate it in next season. Maybe we'll see what happens in the Super Bowl. Yeah, maybe not, but no, I'm just kidding. Don't know.
I think it's gonna be a tough one. But now, sorry, something else.
No, nothing. I was just gonna say, but with all the good things comes the bad. So
Yeah,
now we've got to cover
the worst player of the year. Yeah, so same like the best player of the year. We have the worst. We have the worst QB, offense, defense, and then MVP, which we call in top honors for worst player.
yeah.
So worst QB player of the year nominations, or honorable mentions is Geno Smith from Las Vegas Raiders, Tua Tagovailoa, blah 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 blah.
Tagovailoa.
Yeah, I just say Tua because I can't say.
Yeah.
QB from Miami Dolphins. Finished this like you noted, finished the season as a third string.
Yeah,
and he was starting.
Effectively got benched during the season.
Yeah,
like the last game or two, he was benched, and not even as backup QB. He was the backup's backup, which is rough. Yeah,
that's right. How do you have a first and third?
Yeah. Sorry, and then there's still a question this season about where he's going, whether the Dolphins are going to keep him or not. And yeah, I know there's contractual things, and it's about money and that type of thing. But honestly, if those contracts weren't in place, or like the money wasn't the problem, and cap space and that type of thing for the team, it would be he'd be out. Yeah,
I find him. Then the last honorable mention, we have Justin Fields, quarterback from the New York Jets. But our worst QB player of the year is JJ McCarthy, QB from Minnesota Vikings. His stats are incredible, I'm not gonna lie.
Incredibly bad.
Throwing 140 completions from 243 attempts, through only 1,632 yards, 11 touchdowns. 12 interceptions. He threw more interceptions than touchdowns, with a QB rating of 72.6.
Yeah, now let's be honest. Okay, 72.6, I don't think is the worst of the QB ratings.
Probably not.
But he was the hope of the Vikings.
Yeah,
he was supposed to play last season. Just for to go back on where he comes. He got injured right at the beginning of this year, and that's where Donald came in. That's where it was a season-ending injury. So obviously, Vikings needed a QB, and ended up going with Donald, who took them into playoffs. Then the Vikings somehow thought that this rookie QB, he's going to be our franchise QB potentially, and would like to see what happens.
Yeah.
And they were putting a ton of hope on and prayers on
JJ,
on old JJ. And what ends up happening is that McCarthy ends up during the season. He's absolutely terrible. Fans are booing in the stadium. He ends up getting injured during the season as well. I think he came back, ends up getting after coming back and still not being that great, actually being terrible. Not great is typical. Still too good. Yeah, he was terrible. Yeah, just absolutely terrible. I think he was still benched and replaced by Max Brosner, who definitely wasn't any better. But let's this isn't about Brosnan or anybody else. I think he was also replaced. There was somebody else that ended up throwing as well. There was a third QB that they ended up trying. But anyways, Wentz.
Yes. Wasn't.
Yeah.
Still with a damaged arm or shoulder or something.
Yeah. So Wentz, just for reference, was a better as the backup QB was a better QB for the Vikings, and he still ended up playing with there was a game or two where Sam JJ had an ankle thing or a foot something, whatever, and he was effectively recovered, but he wasn't 100% there, and so they'd rather send Wentz in with torn ligaments in his shoulders and all sorts of things that required surgery to fix, and would have meant he would have been out the season. They still put him in rather than JJ McCarthy.
He did that for
and
he still did better than JJ.
And he still did better. Now think about that, right?
Oh, that's wrong.
Think about what JJ is probably going through, right? He's probably like, oh wow, I don't think I'm going to be. But I don't know. Everybody seems to be like, okay, let's try and see if we can run it. Kind of.
Yeah, they seeing some magical things from JJ.
Yeah,
and we just seeing terrible things.
No, actually, to be honest, I think because the Vikings are looking at potential QB options for the next season. There has been talk of a possible trade for Mac Jones.
Oh, yes.
They were looking at Geno Smith apparently as well as a possible option. Supposedly, rumors. I don't know if that's true or not. But how do you go from bad to effectively second bad? Kind of thing. I don't know. It's. I don't know what's going on in the Vikings side of the Vikings organization, but wow, that's not. If you can get Mac Jones, take Mac Jones. But I don't know if Mac Jones is going to be available. Also, Mac Jones kind of works well with the Niners.
Yeah. He played fantastic with the Niners compared to what he did for 2023 season with us.
Yeah. I mean, that could just be Shanahan's coaching, right? I mean, like he makes magic work with people that can't see anything. Maybe JJ should go to the Vikings, actually to the 49ers first, and then after like 3-4 years, whatever kind of thing, then come back and maybe he'll be an all right QB then.
JJ goes there and 49ers goes to the playoffs.
Wow. Now that will be a very. It's funny.
But cool, moving on to the offensive player of the year.
Yeah. All right. So, offensive players of the year, and I've scrolled right past. Oh, no, wait. We're talking about worst offensive player of the year. All right. Okay, cool. So, we have as an honorable mention Charles Keck, offensive lineman, technically right tackle for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Effectively the only tackle in the NFL to allow 30+ pressures this season. You also allowed the most hurries in the NFL this season, which is, I mean, as much as you can say about various other players and that type of thing. As your right tackle, as a tackle, you're there to protect the quarterback by the time essentially for how can I say for the ball to get out, make space for the running backs. Well, the usual types of things that an O-line is responsible for, right? And I mean even rookie players did better than him.
Well, Campbell.
I mean just hashtag saying, kind of thing. So, kind of anyways, long story, but and it's one thing to say, like it's something to be said though. The Bucs did fairly well despite him, but I think they could have done a hell of a lot better if they had a proper and technically he was actually the replacement for I can't remember what his name is, but the right tackle actually got injured early on in the season. They're absolutely dealing with a lot of injuries. Unfortunately, like most every single group have. But he ended up ended up bringing Heck in, and yeah, he did a heck of a job of not doing his job, kind of thing. So,
That's what you did.
yeah. Um, anyways, I did also want to mention, look, and this is an unfair, unfair opinion, but I do think Justin Jefferson could have done a hell of a lot better. To be fair, again with the Vikings,
It was Jim McCarthy.
largely McCarthy, it's largely a lot of other things, but I do think also when he was targeted, he was given the ball. There were a lot of like drop passes, incorrect positioning. Yeah, the right word. He didn't make. I mean, his yards after carry or yards after catch, sorry, weren't anything compared to what he was. Yeah, exactly. What he was doing in the 2024 season, and prior to that as well. So yeah, he kind of ended up just sitting there on this, like on the side or kind of being sidelined. Like there was a lot of questions. Where's McCarthy? Where's Jefferson? Where's JJ? Kind of thing. And unfortunately, it was the other JJ.
Yeah, JJ wasn't passing correctly to JJ.
Yeah, so I think there's a lot of mismatch kind of thing. But yeah, so it's an unfair opinion. I do get that, but I was kind of, I was disappointed to see what came out of Jefferson this season. But overall, the offensive worst player of the year has to go to none other than AJ Brown, wide receiver for the Philadelphia Eagles. So yeah, Brown even said that was a shit season. And yeah, I mean, look, poor performance across the board. Metrics were everywhere not good.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was kind of like the lowest. I think his career lowest metrics, and really really poor stats compared to everybody else.
Yeah.
Number of critical drops when he was handed the ball or thrown the ball. It was number of critical missed catches, which should have been an easy catch for him. Kind of just dropped. Catches that cost him games. Literally cost him games. And then to top all of that off, he just had a really poor attitude.
Yeah.
There was a couple of videos that went viral of him and what's the coach name? Nick Siriachi, I think. So they're getting into fights on and heated arguments and things on the side. That's not how you participate in a team thing
Or treat the coaches.
Yeah, I mean, look, you might disagree with somebody and have a problem with them and such, but take that off the field.
Yeah.
Right? That's what you address those things
in the locker
room, behind the scenes, and this is a job. You're paid to play and you're paid to do something. Do your job.
Yeah.
And if you've got any issues, address them in the space. Don't come out and put it onto the field.
Yeah.
It's not only does it affect the person that you're having issues with, but it affects the entire team's standing morale, that type of thing. And yeah, it's just uncalled for. It's bad behavior, unprofessional situations.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
yeah, so I don't know. AJ Brown overall,
worst offensive player of the year.
well done.
Well, cool. And moving on to worst defensive player of the year.
All right, go for it. Cool. Let's do defensive player, right? So, Christian Benford, quarterback for the Buffalo Bills, honorable mention goes to him. Basically, okay. So in the 2024 season, he allowed an average of was about 20. Yeah, sorry. He basically allowed 21.06 receiving yards per game in the 2024 season, right? This season, he kind of went further and allowed 32.3 yards per game. So, kind of really dropping the ball in a sense. And then, I mean, basically, he was tied for the most touchdowns allowed in coverage this season. That's ball.
Yeah.
Which was exactly the same number as what he did last season.
Yeah.
So kind of, I don't know, not a lot of
Improvement.
improvement. In fact, worse performance. And just generally not great numbers coming out of him. So, but yeah, Bulls, I'd say the Bulls defense wasn't exactly great this season either.
Definitely wasn't.
So yeah, I mean, I guess you could put up a bunch of other names on there.
Bulls team.
But let's talk bad defenses, right? So winner of the best worst defensive player of the year has to come from one of the teams that produced the worst defensive defensive units this year
And last year.
and I guess the Cincinnati Bengals, right? So who on the Bengals can we pick on? Well, I think we're going with Shamar Stewart, defensive end, technically an edge rusher for the season. He received the lowest grade edge rusher rating in the entire NFL, 120th out of 120. That's worse than your rookies. That's worse than anybody else. And
That's bad.
yeah, or everybody else did quite a bit better. And he's worse by like there's a bit of a gap. It's not a massive gap, but there's a bit of a gap between Sons and next day. And what's interesting is though, when he was picked 17th overall.
Yeah.
There was
High hopes.
high hopes for him, and he's built like a tank. Like he should be doing a lot on the field. He should be causing chaos in that. He should
be putting on Micah Parsons. He should be putting on Garrett.
He has the build for it.
Yeah.
He's got the potential for it.
But JJ McCarthy.
Yeah, exactly. Right, 100%. Finish last was last, and
Oh no. Maybe someone asked it.
yeah, true. But and I guess the thing is, I mean, his numbers could only have gotten worse. But fortunately for him, he ended up injured and ended the season on the injury reserve list. So could he get any worse for him? So that was maybe the saving grace.
Maybe 121 from 120.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So, yeah. But yeah. So of those, he's the top nominee. Oh, he is the top candidate. He wins that prize.
He wins defensive year.
Worst defensive player of the year. Or at least like my opinion.
And top honors all of the worst players on
from the worst nominated players has to go to Shamar from the Bengals, just because. Yeah,
Great job, Mr. Stewart.
yeah. Unfortunately, you were the worst of our worst.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry about that. Sorry.
Yeah.
But then moving on to Coach of the Year, we have a couple of nominees. We have Mike McDonald, head coach. Hey?
I know. I thought you were asking me for.
Oh no, I was trying to get my words now. Head coach of the Seattle Seahawks. And we also have Ben Johnson, head coach of the Chicago Bears. But as the note you put down,
I would like to point out.
yeah, as the note you put down, despite being a prick, that's your words, but
Yeah.
he's more of a dick.
Yeah.
He did bring the Bears up from where they were last season. Yes, they also had the easiest game too.
Yeah.
But he did bring them up, yeah.
Yeah. But look, I mean, yeah.
And he made Caleb actually a great player this season, I think.
I still have my.
You don't like Caleb. You don't like the Bears anymore. You don't.
Yeah, and I'm out of the Bears. The Bears are dead to me. And I don't know why I chose the Bears as my like. And actually, I do know why. It's not a mystery. But just silly. I chose them in the same division as my own team because they were the low ranked players.
If they were the underdogs, they were gonna make it.
Exactly, kind of thing. But after watching the Bears
Yeah.
this season, and I want to say how lucky they got.
And Ben Johnson's face afterwards.
That has to be one of the most annoying. Yeah. So I know you was your was it OC or DC from the Patriots from
The Lions.
Oh, I know you were the Lions. Or it's Lions. Yeah, the second team. That's why I kind of started with you.
Yeah, like a normal person, my main team's on the AFC. my second team's in the NFC. Some prawn has it in the same division.
The same division, the same conference. Because, anyways, so as I think I've mentioned previously, I'm now on the hunt for a new second team.
Yeah. Either the Texans or
Yeah, it's probably going to be the Texans, I think. Yeah. Although
there was another one, Texans and Browns, wasn't there?
yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
Was Texans or not? I don't know.
I'm liking the Texans at the moment. I haven't settled yet.
Yeah.
Also because I think I'm not so sure I enjoy the direction that they're going at with Stroud. So
Yeah.
Stroud was terrible. But not just Stroud. There's a couple. So I want to kind of see what happens this season. But also I don't want to be fickle and just base it on who's playing where kind of thing.
Or who's winning.
Exactly.
Okay, that's my team.
Exactly. Kind of.
It might be the Chiefs.
Oh, it's definitely not going to be the Chiefs. I think we know this already, right?
But yeah, we're still sorry. That's the honorary to Mike McDonald and Ben Johnson. But we went with Mike Vrabel, head coach of the New England Patriots.
Yeah. So I mean, if you look at like
What he did.
McDonald's, Johnson, you've got Vrabel. They all come from teams that I'm gonna say weren't, I don't think, expected to get very far. Seahawks do pretty well. Let's be honest. They finished 2024 season in 14th spot. So yeah, I mean they're like kind of in the middle of the pack, but I don't think there was a idea that this was going to be their Super Bowl run. And actually take it.
Yeah.
I think they all did pretty well. But I mean, if you're considering if you're looking at Vrabel, I mean, he took a bottom four. Yeah. So fourth from the end. So 28th position team. And yeah, we did 2023 and 2024. Exactly. Yeah. Up to second overall.
Yeah.
It's
kind of no question, man.
Yeah. There's obviously, right? This is the schedule. Yeah, okay, no, to be fair, right? To some degree, that does have an impact.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is, there's some impact there. There's some impact or from what players you have, the other coaching staff. There's whatever, but every team is dealing with those types of things, and if you can capitalize on it, that's I mean, that's what you're trying to do, right?
Yeah.
And
Jared couldn't do that last season.
Exactly, right? So there was potential, and I think for the most part, the initial season was expected to be like maybe a gain of 5 positions, 10 positions. I think everybody would have been not exceptionally happy with that type of performance, right? I mean, if you look at it, you've got McDonald going with the Seahawks, going from 14th overall to number 1. Okay, that's about 14, 15 places, right? Exceptional. Wow, like did a great job. Ben Johnson coming with the Bears. The Bears finished somewhere around there as well, 20th some position, but they're still in that at like, I don't know, what was it, 8, 9, something along those lines. And so you've got an increase of about 10, 11, 12 maybe, or something along those lines.
Yeah.
Kind of places. Rebel went from, it basically increased 26 something positions.
Literally took from the bottom to the top.
Yeah. So I mean, if you want to question if you want to say, okay, it was a schedule or it was whatever kind of thing, let's see next season.
That's going to be a tough.
It's going to be a tough season, but that's the big point is right now for this season, without any other evidence, he did a fantastic job.
He did a freaking brilliant job, man. So Mike Vrabel, we all we need. Warriors. But then moving on to West Coach of the Year.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a couple of possibilities here, right? I mean, maybe not making the list necessarily, but I mean, if you, there's a good couple. There's Pete Carroll from the Raiders. What were the Raiders doing? But anyway, apart from him,
Coach from the Giants.
Yeah, you've also got what's his name, McDaniels from
Dolphins. Head coach of the Cardinals.
Exactly. But there's a couple of there are a good couple of contenders or possibilities, right? But I think overall, at least in my opinion, and yeah, I guess the general sort of idea is that what happened with the Falcons?
Yeah. Falcons was they still went bottom,
They weren't bottom,
but they
had potential,
yeah.
right? There was potential for them to go somewhere and do something, right? But what screwed the team over? Yeah, okay. Look, Falcons have issues, and there's things that they can work on, as does every other team.
Yeah.
But what screwed them over a lot is Raheem Morris cannot manage a clock.
Yeah.
It's one of the key things you have to be aware of as a coach in the postseason. Yeah, actually, I guess at any season, really.
Yeah.
Understand the clock, work around the clock, as in not keep yeah, not but you've got to be able to work with the clock and understand that how certain plays and how certain positioning, etc., affects game time, which is measured by the game clock, right?
Yeah.
So there's that. How can I say? Also, when to call timeouts. Don't use your timeout now.
Yeah.
Use it then. Okay. We've got about. Okay, it's before the 2-minute warning. We've got. We're at the 30-yard mark. On our own 30-yard mark. When to make certain plays, because you don't want to pass the ball all the way down, get in the lead, and then you still got over a minute left in the game. Over a minute is a lifetime in the NFL, and if the other
if he knows clock management,
if the other team is actually on point and actually understands what they need to do, you can have easy, like probably 8-9 plays. That's enough to get all the way back down the field. And also, like,
we've seen people do that in 30 seconds.
Exactly. So it's there's a key part to understanding when to make certain plays, when to take timeouts, how to effectively work with the clock.
Yeah. As much as I hate to say it, and it really hurts, like I feel my heart literally going. But Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, and the Chiefs know how to handle that.
Yeah.
Not much this season, but previous seasons, 30 seconds on the clock was forever for them.
Yeah.
They had so much time in the world.
Yeah. And that's just, that's part of the whole coaching thing. It's not only coaching, it's also the QB, your defensive captains and things. Understanding what and when and how, and being on the same page. Now, in this case, and why I've taken Morris specifically, always clock management ability. I mean, obviously, a lot of coaches have questionable calls here and there. And
this season, surprisingly, there was a lot of bad clock management skills this season.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be the first to point out Matt Sure.
Yeah, Packers that as well.
I had some like, why are you doing that?
Yeah,
anyways.
There was a lot of this.
Yeah, there was a good number of things, but Raheem Morris just doesn't understand the clock at all, and unfortunately, Falcons QB said came out when asked about what possessed you to do that, etc. Like was asked questions about the clock management issues. He said, well, he's going to have to defer to his coach, because he's the one who makes the decisions on that. So yeah, this all came down to Raheem Morris.
Yeah,
and unfortunately, in a lot of cases, that poor clock management ability, like Morris doesn't know how to work with the clock at all, and
that's the primary school, man.
Yeah, that cost them a number of games.
Yeah.
So, like for instance, their 30-24 loss to the Commanders was particularly notable because, they effectively, by losing that game, he had. Right.
You're right there.
Yeah. Coming. Okay, so Morris had multiple opportunities to make use of timeouts and well, he just never called any.
Yeah.
Right? Let the clock run out, etc., etc. And the Falcons ended up losing. I think it was to the Commanders, 30-24. They had the opportunity to win that game.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but because they lost that game, they lost at that same time they lost the ability to control their own destiny in making playoffs. They had the possibility to go to playoffs, but they lost that possibility by losing that game, and that was a winnable game for them.
Commanders.
Yeah,
because they didn't have Jaden Daniels at that time either.
Yeah,
Jaden was out.
Yeah, so I mean, Falcons could have been in the playoffs easily, but Morris doesn't know how to use Eldar. So it ended up being kind of problematic. I mean, and that's look, I'm it sounds like I'm picking on Morris specifically for his clock management skills. There's a lot of teams that had issues.
Yeah.
But there were a ton of other questionable decisions, questionable things. Like they just decided at some point to stop playing the run game.
Yeah.
At all. And that was actually at the time where they needed the run game. They had a strong possibility in the run game, and just like a couple of games into the season, they're like, we don't need to run the ball anymore. Let's
just give them pass.
Yeah,
and get shut down.
Yeah.
Every single time. Yeah.
So understandably very, very questionable decisions. I kind of think if he hasn't been fired, I would expect him not to or to be on the
chopper block. So.
Yeah.
They keep him around. That's the same thing. The next season he's gone.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't think with their current record, I don't think they're going to be.
Yeah, I think him for next season.
I think if he sticks around for next season, they'll be really quick to evaluate whether he's like if the Falcons are not doing or they're dropping down or they're not maintaining like a decent win rate. I think they'll act him during the season early on as well.
Makes sense. But I was just thinking now while you were talking, another honorable mention for worst coach of the year. Yeah. Only because of the AFC Championship game that Sean Payton, that ridiculous call that cost them the championship.
Okay, look. I won't give him honorable mention. I think Payton did a fantastic job with that. He did. But also it was like joke.
It was more of a joke, playable big. That was just silly.
We were still having a discussion at the game, like during the game. Yeah. Why is he not kicking the ball? Like, kick the field goal, damn it! Get the points on the board. I know we can. We can get enough to get a first down to get that touchdown.
And now you're out of the championship.
Yeah.
But anyway, moving on to our second final category, best play / moment of the year. And no honorable mentions. We went with Chicago Bears versus LA Rams, divisional rounds. Caleb Williams in trouble.
Yeah.
Backing up. Oh no. Defenders are rushing him. Runs. Just turns around all the way into the end zone to commit. Beautiful touchdown.
Yeah. And that was
sexiest play this season for me, man. It was stunning.
That was a spin throw kind of.
It was
like look. Yeah.
Why are you running? He's going. Just turns around.
Yeah. It was beautiful, man. Yeah, it was a beautiful.
Stunning play. But
as much as I don't like the Bears, I've given up on the Bears, and it was a great day.
Yeah, man. When I was watching that game and I saw that, I was like,
yeah,
I was getting excited. Yes.
Okay, but unfortunately, now we also need to discuss
worst moment of the
year. But in this case, it's the worst emotional moment.
Yeah,
it's emotional in.
Yeah, this category is worst moment of the year, but we chose this specific moment for emotional reasons.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for the explanation.
For emotional reasons.
So the Bears versus LA Rams, Caleb Williams, etc., wins the best player, right? Yeah, also, unfortunately, we take it, Caleb Williams, his winning touchdown for in overtime against the Packers. Yeah, past DJ Moore.
Yeah, this play actually won best moments for the NFL, honest.
Yes,
We'll get two worst moments.
yes, it's for me heartbreaking. Yeah, it was also the loss that led us to get kicked out.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't. Yeah,
Yeah, it was Walcott round.
yeah. So yeah, it was
I still remember that moment. I still remember that car driver when he picked me up for football practice, man. You were raging. But yeah, worst moment.
yeah. So the Bears win best and worst moments of yeah, and for great job, yeah. And while you're not a fan of the Bears, exactly, it wasn't the Bears that messed up there. It was a good play. It was the Packers' decisions that led up to that. So that's
Yeah.
frustrated and annoyed. Yes.
So they were what 24-3 ahead at halftime.
Don't bring that up.
During this,
Do not bring that up.
to OT.
Shut your face.
Shut your face. But cool, that was our AM Sideline Awards. And that concludes the final episode of season 1.
I guess you can say that's a wrap.
Yeah.
And yeah, but I mean, we'll be back.
Yeah.
All in all, etc.
We'll still be around. Go check us on TikTok, on Instagram. Go follow our JB Dolphins.
Yes, we've got the Dolphins.
We have JB Dolphins TikTok now. We have JB Dolphins Instagram, Facebook page. We have an AM Sideline Report Facebook page. Go check us on that. Go follow us.
Yeah.
And do all those good things. And also like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah, let us know your inputs. Yeah, we're obviously still trying to get the community going and, building up here in South Africa, get the football talk running and flowing.
Yeah.
So yeah, let us know your thoughts, comments, what you like, don't like.
Exactly. Leave it down below. We curious to hear from you guys.
Yeah.
And like we said, we want to grow, so we need you guys as well.
Yeah, but yeah. I guess it's the end of the season, end of the end of the video.
Yeah.
I guess it's a wrap, kind of thing. But yeah. Which one? I guess one and all, for the last time this season, we'll catch you all next time. From the sideline.
The AM Sideline Report, who you go to crew. Touchdowns and tackles, we give you the view. Huddle up, football fans, this show's for you. From the pregame hype to the final whistle, true.